finish this off.
Let's return to the interrogation of Matt Roloff.
Relied on a PPP loan.
Well, I have that written down here, Matt.
Yeah, okay, we're a little bit.
I wanted to address that because I know you had to reduce the amount of people that
Roloff farm to keep things going and contribute
Let's talk about PPP.
and try to pay our taxes and not rely. My dad was another huge influence.
Because here's the reality of
my
it.
My dad used to say,
Matt Roloff,
"You're not going to live off other people's money." I mean, some people have to do that. I don't.
It'd be funny if Matt actually is being interrogated by this man, and each time we see him, the conversation continues. They're just trying to break him over the course of days or weeks.
I'm telling you, I think we touched on it a couple of weeks ago, or one of the times we were watching part of this interview, that this guy is like definitely like he's working for like the State Department or something, because he's got all these like interviews with people. He has like no action on his
famous people.
This is
and nobody's watching this.
He's like CIA, like making a profile of Matt under the guy.
Nobody is watching this.
Took 1,000 pictures of Roloff Farms, like he's taking a picture inside his refrigerator.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess you can do that.
He's like, "Where's your bathroom? I gotta go to the bathroom." He's just taking pictures of his medicine cabinet.
He's in there for an hour.
Yeah. I pay a lot of taxes, and it's not fun, but you got to do it. It's part of your civic duty and responsibility. And my father taught me that.
Trust me. I pay all my taxes.
Yeah, well, he's got those paintings on the wall.
Say, my body's too cranky to get out of bed this morning. No, get up and go out there and pound the pavement and work.
I go up and get
up. Make things happen. And contribute.
All of this interview is what are you talking about? Right. He's just rambling.
Why I respect people like you.
You're out there and get your butt broken.
Pretty good over the last couple of days and even last several years. I respect you. Work multiple.
What's the midget
the family
equivalent of buck broken?
Giving me your routine about eating dinner as a family together.
Daily life.
And praying at dinner every night. Just those things, and then you're still chasing this first-class fatherhood and the people.
Not quite a person, not quite a butt.
And that you reach out to. I'm amazed by you. You're an inspiration to me. So I appreciate what you're doing, and I try to follow the same standard.
He's trying to
provide.
I'm the same way. I appreciate that, Matt. It's the American dream, really, is what it is. That's what it's all about. And I
compliment Matt, but let's return to questions.
Although you've had your issues with family, you guys are a strong, cohesive unit. You all work together, and that's what I think we need to see more of. That would strengthen, I think, our entire country. If we strengthen our family units, maybe bring some God back into the flow, I think most of the problems we see in our country will really dissolve quickly.
Yeah. Well,
he's trying to get Matt safe.
A lot of our dirty laundry's aired out, on our show, and we have our ups and downs.
Let's all be like the Roloffs.
Bumps in our relationships and things, and I feel very fortunate as the father of my 4 kids. Now
that only one of them was molested.
And my parents, and I work really hard.
I consider that a pretty good one.
It's not always
only one of them come out and said they are molested.
Said, that's a key word.
Work really hard to try to spread myself out and keep my relationship. All my 4 kids, I pick up the phone, talk to them, and at any time, have them know that their kids.
I've seen that just being here. Yeah,
talks to them all the time, but doesn't know their birthdays.
Sometimes you see the cross relationship bumping and bruising, and you feel bad, and sometimes you can
bumping and bruising. I like that. You use that.
Little time.
So I spend my day bumping and bruising.
But it's doing shows like yours is super important because it really.
Shut up.
I hope it inspires me.
He's just kissing his ass, dude, to get him off the topic of the PPP shit.
Parenting is a big responsibility. Like you say, we're not babysitters, we're parents. I think my son Zachary says that to me all the time. He's, and Tori and Jeremy and Audrey.
Zach's a perfect example of a parent.
Taking the responsibility of fatherhood serious.
I just hope that they'll change my diaper someday.
You can always do better. And being a father
is gonna need one soon.
A first-class job.
Yeah, well said.
He already has them.
I say I'm at the one and only Roloff farm, but I just learned today that this isn't the one and only Roloff.
Not the one and only. Yeah. There's others.
So on that, Matt, I want to turn it over to your legacy here. What do you want? What would you say you want?
Do you say that there are other Roloff farms?
Yeah. Like
I
other
think it's
people
a
named
I don't know if
Roloff
you're
who have
referring to
farms.
Amy's part.
I don't think so.
Or did he mean
no.
that like
I think it's a
metaphorically,
psyop.
like his kids, like?
I think he means it's just other people named Roloff who have farms.
Oh.
I don't know.
It's like
I
his
mean,
general name.
we could probably look this up, but
We could probably
would
rewind it
say-
like 30 seconds and get a better idea, but nah.
Want the
What is the
legacy
Roloff?
of the Roloff farm to be?
Pumpkins. No, it's funny.
But seriously,
I
pumpkins.
think about legacy, and I think
No, seriously, I want the legacy to be not
the
molestation.
show obviously there's a lot of. We like to say we've got
I
the
cannot
best home
repeat it
video
enough.
in the
Jacob
world,
was not
I used
molested
to always-
here at
I used to
Roloff
be a
Farms.
fanatic video, with the family growing up before the show.
we were
started,
talking about it too.
to pump
Maybe he
video
wasn't
camera,
molested at all.
video
I don't know.
That'd be
I
funny
mean,
if he's like-
and you look into that.
Yeah, that boy, Jacob, he's a good kid, but he lied a lot, all the time.
Crazy,
So who knows?
But then all of a sudden the show came in, kind of took over, so I put my video camera
Matt
away,
calls his son a
and
I mean,
liar.
it's ever since,
What if Matt was like,
But
gee, I wish you would have told us. You could have
having obviously
done a rape test.
Kids,
got DNA evidence, but I guess we'll never know.
Those kids look back long after I'm gone and think, well, Grandpa, look at this cool cabin, look at this cool castle, look at this cool farm, look at these cool businesses.
No,
that
you're just a
that we
fucking.
can, take advantage of. So you want them to build on the.
at this
success
cool
that they
plane.
have. You want them to
This
be
cool
in
pirate
the
ship.
farm and the land
Look at this
and,
cool plane.
the fact that
Fucking
we
Waterhead
carved out
doesn't
a
even
really
like it to
nice
begin
little
with.
homestead here.
Went in
Yeah, I
there
don't think that kid's
ran
ever gonna
right out.
talk.
And this is a great little location.
We're gonna
Don't
burn
wanna
it like
see
a bonfire.
apartments,
They're just gonna put it out in the
built
open
on our
field
land. We want
because they
it
don't know
to be,
what else to do with
something
it.
that the kids can enjoy.
Yeah, that's what will happen.
And generations can enjoy. And so that's
Matt's just
the
gonna
challenge,
kill
how to
himself.
Put that in place and make sure that.
Oh,
the
he's too
legacy
proud.
would Be the footprint.
Too
of
proud.
Roloff.
That's true.
This Roloff farm here, this Roloff farm.
I'll
has
pay
here,
someone to kill him.
In history.
Yeah, good stuff. And then what would you say then would be
Frame
obviously
Amy.
running on? I think it's 17 seasons. We're about to drop the 18th season.
Really
How many
exciting,
seasons
Chris.
of the show?
I don't know. They label the seasons,
Or
but
both
don't
of them.
have
The guy's
the
name
years.
is.
We've
Like
been doing
Psycho
this since the
Chris
first
as
time I looked
well.
up an old contract. I think we first went under contract 17 years ago. So
Okay.
that number is like that's when we first started negotiating about how to do this, and we did a couple of.
His dog
before
barking?
The actual real pilot came on. So
The
it's a
one
lot.
that he's
But I
always
think we're
chasing
15
around in
years
his
of
little
being
cart.
on air. 2006,
Yep.
if I'm not mistaken, March of 2006.
Or I should say one of the ones.
Since our show went sort of
Keeps getting
to-
the same
to
breed
green
just to
light,
like hunt them
and
down.
regular.
What would you say then you hope to be the legacy of the show here when it does eventually run?
Oh wow, he was
its
able to remember that
legacy of
date.
Little
Anyone
Big
notice
World?
that?
Well,
He remembered a very
No.
specific date of something.
Reality television. They label the seasons that don't necessarily mean years. We've been doing this since the first time. I looked up an old contract. I think we first went under contract 17 years ago. So
Okay.
that number is like the.
Well, still,
Let's
I
hear
mean,
the date, Matt.
He can look up an old contract, but he still can't remember his kids' birthdays or ages.
we first started negotiating about how to do this, and we did a couple of pilots before the actual real pilot came on. So there's a long history.
Dude, the Bush people have so much more money than he does.
That grinds his gear.
The
Professional,
Bush people have 60 mil.
but they're grifters. They know.
Yeah.
They know how to work money when they got it. You know.
This
Matt's too much of a
$5,000 boat
coward
could
to
make or
really-
break us.
Matt's like the type of character you would see in like Fargo. He's like a Jerry Lundegaard,
Yeah.
He doesn't have the guts to be an actual like con artist.
I think we're at 15
He's-
years of being on air. 2006, if I'm not mistaken, March of 2006. So however
there we go.
many years that is since our show went sort of to green light.
He remembers the exact month.
What would you say
dude.
then you hope to be the legacy of the show?
Yeah, that would be
when
funny
it
if
does
Zach-
eventually
so
run
what's
its
Zach's
course? What do you hope
birthday
the legacy
again?
of Little
Sorry?
People, Big World.
Well, reality television has always been.
I was about to say, like, so reality is crazy. I mean, wouldn't you say?
Reality television, is that a game show, or is that these docudramas where they roughly follow the family
Game show.
storylines,
Game show.
The terminology, but we've never won any awards in Hollywood for, even though we have gotten the
No, we
Guinness
earn it.
World Records for the longest running reality
Shortest people.
television family show, the title, in history. So we, more than the Kardashians.
It'd be funny if he did remember that
more
also.
Than, the Duggars and,
remembers all his titles and awards that he
gets. So
gets.
we've been running every single year since 2006, that's the only, but Hollywood doesn't, that's reality television kind of the bad stepchild,
it's those Jews, they're cutthroat.
And for whatever reason. But we think we've
they're vipers, they're snakes in the grass.
Little people, we think, has made people think about little people a little different. And it certainly has spawned off.
It's probably made me dislike little people, if anything.
He's right about that,
little
dude.
people shows
it's spawned our podcast.
On TLC that show the everyday life of little people, the doctors, Bill and Jen Klein, the little couple. There's
I had Bill on the show.
Pardon me?
I had Bill on the show.
Yep. Right. And then you gotta have Trent.
I don't think he's a good father.
Trent has 5 kids. Trent and Amber. I served on the board of directors with Amber years ago on the Little People organization. Long history with that family. They're a great couple and great kid. I don't know all the kids, but certainly have a long history with them. They're great Little People family. I just love
like a
watching
cast.
Trent and how he
it's like
things on his own. It's
that reminds me of something specific.
I just need to get out of my head that I don't need to hire some. So Trent's out there,
the Fly,
pushing things around, with ingenuity. Great show. But these
it's a movie where someone shakes a hand like that and the fingers crack.
Collected to really, I would
just be like, nah, dude, that's gross.
On people that are different. Now, if you can get
shaking your hand, it's fucking gross.
It reminds me of. Sorry. No, go.
I was gonna say I would just rub his head, the top of his head, instead of a handshake.
We do this
just
instead.
pull it away from him, and then go around and behind him and rub his head. There you go.
No, Prophet, I was going to say the Sal describing when him and Richard met Eric the Midget and how his hand felt like a bone with just flesh on it or something like that. I don't know. He's like a turkey wing.
Yeah.
Or your belly. Being just like you, emotionally wanting to live life in pursuit of, happiness. Then
second time you said that. I got the pursuit of happiness. Was he?
Matt carries a pocket constitution with him everywhere he goes.
Have other disabilities, CP, or some common
Matt's in the Patriot movement.
Disfiguration. I think if you can understand that, hey, little people, I see them on TV, they're just like you and I. I used to think they were for a freak show. Then you can get your head around anybody who's different. And living with difference.
That really gets him going.
We're all tall, dark, and handsome.
Yeah, I think that's true. They polled Americans before little people saying, are midgets freaks? And most people said yes. Now everything.
Give it time, right?
I just thought of something. He probably does really resent Jacob. Because Jacob looks a lot like Matt. He looks like Matt more than Amy, way more. Except and more than the other siblings. Except he's tall.
I think
I may remember his birthday.
We were, we can take that away from us. We were the first, regular little people show that just followed the everyday life. And I think that in general society, around the globe, the whole world, every continent and country.
Antarctica?
Such a true statement. Going by the season we watched, the last season.
Hey, I'm your voice in Brazil.
Literally just doing nothing.
You're my voice.
It was less than everyday life.
Translate.
Yeah, I'm hired by
it was
the network
going to dinner.
Translate your voice into Brazil.
It was like what you do when you live a life with nothing but
leisure. The show is going all over.
When you're on vacation, visiting family for a month, and it's the last couple days, and you just don't have anything to do, Everybody just does their own thing. You want burgers? Sure. That's my thing for the day now. We're going to have burgers.
But at the same time, we're all different, and we all
somebody's got to make them.
are out there trying to live life the best.
What's going to go with them? What are we going to have with the burgers? We got to figure it out.
We think we've gotten out through the medium of television.
Yeah, and I think
we have
now
enough
too, the show lives on
cup?
forever because now as we see everything gets restreamed, Hulu and Netflix, whatever channel it may be, these things can live on forever now. And I think it'll continue to touch so many lives throughout the course of history. So kudos to you and your family for what you guys have managed to accomplish.
Well, there's
so Matt, you're
streaming
going to
on
the
anything.
legacy, obviously, Little People, Big World. You're going to have a legacy here with the Roloff Farm. What do you want the legacy of Matt Roloff, the father? What do you want your legacy to be as a dad?
I am not expecting my legacy to be that I was a perfect father because
I want my legacy to be 75% unmolested.
Yeah. He said, I don't want to wait. Did you hear what he said? He said,
75% unmolested.
Listen to this. He's so humble.
Father, what do you want your legacy to be as a dad?
I am not expecting my legacy to be that I was a perfect father because I've learned so many things.
Brave thing to say that.
Father, even I'm like, oh my gosh, I really blew that when I was a regular father. I wish I watched my kids and how attentive they are, and sometimes I wish I would have known some of my mistakes.
He just starts crying and just outpouring.
And my kids
this is a
are
revelation.
from my mistakes, I believe.
That's such a fucking loser.
And I'm doubling down my efforts now as a grandpa.
He's like, I just wanted someone to take over the farm, and they're just fucking losers.
Bunch of fucking nobodies.
My moods, ups and downs, and bad
He's
days,
typing in his goddamn typewriter.
I really do feel like
Zach can't even talk.
with my kids.
You try to talk to Zach, and it's like chit-chatting with a fucking nobody.
I want my legacy to be, I don't know how long I'm going to go, but I want my legacy to be that whoever remembers me, they look back
And Jacob got molested, so I can't rely on him.
Can't rely on him.
We had a good relationship. We could sit down, we could talk to him about anything.
It's just one thing after the next.
Yeah.
And he would provide advice. And he was a good grandpa, good father, maybe even a great grandpa.
If you can't take care of yourself, how can you take care of the farm?
But if not, I think the grandkids can point. I remember the grandpa.
Can't even keep from getting molested. How are you going to take care of a farm?
And this will be your third go around here, Matt. You know how I love to end this show. And I always like to ask all the dads, this is your third go around. I don't know if you got anything new to add here to it, but I got to ask anyway, what kind of advice do you have for that new dad or for that about-to-be father who's out there listening?
Abort it.
Hold your breath.
Just be present. Be present and listen. If the kids grow up, to get down on the floor. I do that in here with my grandkids.
What, did he read a book for this
it's hard
advice?
for me to get on the floor. It's not always easy. But my biggest
From
advice
life.
to fathers, whether it's new fathers, is to be present and to enjoy what they like. Remember, all kids have different personality. There's not one mold.
Remember the
Really?
I think you're gonna get them all into the same mold. Doesn't work that way.
This is sage advice. Each kid has their own personality. Are you kidding?
They absorb information or discipline differently. So you have to treat each of your kids as individuals that are completely
This is like a
different
oral exam, This is like it's college. It's just like it's stuff everybody knows, but it's the presenting he's got to do.
It's an absolute talking here at the farm. Thank you for having me here, and you're a first-class father, first-class grandfather, all the way. And thank you so much for joining me here again.
The information back and do it in a professional manner.
Yeah, he's been in the mirror for
Almost.
hours. Jesus Christ, an hour
Almost
long
perfect
episode.
father.
Okay, here we go.
They're not even with her,
What
dude.
is this treat called Ian?
Well, I call it sunshine lemon bars, but they're lemon.
Oh God. I wonder how much. I wonder if they're getting paid for this.
Nope.
Yeah, it's the roll-offs. You think they're gonna do it for free?
No. Jacob and Isabel.
Oh, no, they aren't.
What are
But
Did you check? Sorry.
Roll-off Empire is.